Good morning, each and every one. It's Saturday, 10 a.m. Central Time. I'm Bill the Geek, and this is the Bill Dallas Lewis channel broadcasting live from Mazatlan, Mexico. It's Saturday. We're going live, and it's your show. It's your show. If you're new here, ask any questions, leave any comments. This broadcast is all about sharing information about the joys of living in Mexico. We kind of have a new setup this morning. It moves stuff around, so I hope everything works. But we've got great electricity this morning. We have very good internet. All of the cameras are working. The computer's working. Got the flute on the cord that connects the direct Ethernet right into the modem to the computer. So I think everything is okay. Got coffee and water, and I'm ready to rock and roll today. We got the map ready. Should anybody have any map questions? So I think we're good to go. Let's see who is in the house this morning. Oh, looky here. We got Lenora Wilson in the house. Char William Jamie, my buddy. We talk all the time. We got pretty boy Brian Maiden in the house this morning. Thank you guys for all joining us. And if you're new here, please let us know where you are. What do you want to know? Have you visited Mexico in the past? Are you thinking about coming to Mexico in the future? I just started a YouTube podcast this week. I put up about 50 podcast episodes on YouTube. Podcast. I really don't quite understand how it works yet, but if you found us, but I picked up like 150 subscribers from podcast. I don't understand how it works, but I guess people that don't watch the videos, they just hear it. It's like a radio show or something like that. So if you found us through the podcast, please let us know. Hey, I was listening to the podcast and now I'm here and ready to rumble with you. We got Verlaine in the house. Happy Saturday to you and Jamie. I'm looking at driving down from Canada to Puebla this year. Decided traveling on toll. Maybe it's meant decided traveling on toll roads and sticking to daytime driving. Any other suggestion? Now that's pretty good because the first time I drove down here, hold on a second. I have a semi retainer, or I had a retainer in my mouth because I just went to the dentist yesterday, which was a real experience. We'll talk about that very soon. But the first time I drove down here to Mexico, I had heard so many stories about the dangerous narcos and you know, people getting kidnapped and all that kind of stuff. And the first time I drove down here, I'm going to say it was about 12 years ago. And I drove here from Washington, D.C. And I was planning my trip. And I was in Washington, D.C. And surprisingly, I was using MapQuest. And I put the address of my apartment in Puerto Vallarta and the address of where I was staying in Washington, D.C. And MapQuest mapped out the entire trip, road by road, route by route, right to my apartment in Puerto Vallarta. So I printed that out, and I got to the border, and I'd never driven across the border before. So I asked the policeman on the United States side, he was actually a soldier, and I said, is all that danger stuff true? I mean, you know, is this going to be safe? And am I going to make it to Puerto Vallarta? And the guy told me, he said, just only drive in the daytime and don't pull over for anybody. And when I was writing children's books, I would drive all over the country all the time. So my rule of thumb is I get up at 7 in the morning, get in the car, and I get busy till about 3 o'clock, 3:30 in the afternoon, and then I stop. Now, the weird thing about driving in Mexico is that they don't have all of those signs like they do in the United States. I don't know if they have these signs in Canada, but in the United States, every exit has about 3 signs before you get to the exit. They have one for hotels, one for motels, one for food, gas stations. Here are the 5 gas stations you can go to at the next stop. Oh, there's a McDonald's, a KFC at the next stop. Oh, there's a Holiday Inn and a Best Western at the next stop. They don't have that in Mexico, man. You might drive 1,000 miles, you see one of those signs. I don't know how it works, but I just kind of planned generally, well, I'm going to get to a city and get to a hotel around 3 or 3:30, and then I'm going to stop. So Jamie, what I would do is just find a city where you're going to stop, and you can look at the map. I'm good for about 7 hours to maybe 9 hours of driving at a time. So plan that out, figure out what city you're going to stop in, get a hotel, get off the road around 3 o'clock, 3:30 in the afternoon, and take the toll roads. The toll roads in Mexico are they're very expensive, actually. So have some pesos before you get, when you get to the border, or before you even get to Mexico, you're up in Canada. See if you can get about 5,000 pesos. That's about $250, and get a bunch of small build pesos, because most of the tolls you're going to have to pay are going to be, it's going to be like three. I'm going to say a big one would be like 300 pesos. Most of them are going to be like 50 pesos, 100 pesos. So have a bunch of pesos in the car by the driver's seat so that you can just pull over and pay as you go. We got Diane in the house. Great to see you, Diane. We got the infamous Axel Foley in the house. Great to see you here. She speaks so she thinks is in the house, and it's a sunny day, and even we have Ray Garcia in El Paso. I don't think I've ever been to El Paso. Buck Stop here was here like an hour before broadcast time. Right on. Good to see you. And Jacqueline is in the house. I believe she's in Guadalajara. And Jacqueline asked me last week, well, can I get an apartment overlooking the marina in Mazatlan? And I walk by the marina like five days a week. That's part of my walk. And I never really paid attention, though I have done a video on a condo that was for sale right on the marina. But Jacqueline, looking back, and we've been corresponding via email about this, I'm going to shoot some video images this week. But every day I walk by the marina this week, and the marina is beautiful. Boats and everything, just sitting out there. Some people live on the boats. But there are like 15 or 20 high-rise condos and low-rise, like 8 stories, all around the marina. And the marina, it might be kind of a cool place to stay, though it's kind of far away from things like markets. There's not even an OXXO there. But anyway, I'm going to take some videos of some of those high-rise condos this week for Jacqueline. And Dave James is in the house. Ola Dave James. Who else is in the house? Mary Jane. Ola Mary Jane. You are very welcome, Jamie. Yeah, just drive in the daytime. Just drive in the daytime. Don't stop for anybody weird. Don't pick up any hitchhikers. If you see like 20 people standing in the middle of the road with guns and stuff like that, push the accelerator down, get it up to 120 and just wipe them all out. O-U-T. And then laugh. Ha, ha, ha. M-O's. Ha, ha, ha. Just like that. David, my new neighbor in Morelia. David, I'm ready for you. And for those of you that don't know, in about 2 months, in about 8 weeks, I'm going to get on a bus with all my computer stuff, what clothes I have, and I'm headed for Morelia. I can't wait to get there. And I'll have a brand new broadcasting setup. I think my broadcast situation will get much better when I get to Morelia. I'll be traveling like mad, making videos. When I get to Morelia, the climate's going to be a lot better. And I can't wait to, if David and his wife, Maria, if they have any time for me, I can't wait to get together with Maria's family and donate to the food supply and the beer supply and meet some new people, my new neighbors in Morelia. Axel Foley, is it true that as a temporary resident, you must update your new address with immigration every time you move? Yes, that is true. I've done it one time. And if you do not update, and Axel, let's back up just a little bit here. So what the heck is Axel talking about? He's not talking about a tourist visa, which only lasts for 180 days. He's talking about if you have a 1 day, a 2 day, a 3 day, a 4 day, a 5-year visa, which doesn't exist. There's no 5-year visa or a permanent visa. If you move, you have to let the Mexican government know that you have moved. I've gone through the process. I did a video on how to do that. It's very specific. It's not real complicated. There's a form you fill out. If you find that video, there's a link. I believe I put a link there with the form. It's all in Spanish. There's a specific letter you need to write in Spanish. And I renewed mine, and you just go to the immigration office. It only takes like 10 minutes to get it done. But I had a guy email me, and he said he got fined. He got fined like some crazy amount of money. It was like 8,000 pesos or $200 because he didn't fill the form out right. So be careful filling out the form. It's easy to do, but supposedly once you move, you have 30 days to go to immigration and let the people know that you have moved to somewhere else. Diane, my solvency will come from sale of my house soon. It burns to have to wait 12 months from money. Then the bank here in the U.S. will get temporary residency. Any thoughts? Well, okay, it burns. They have to wait 12 months. Well, okay, well, if you're going to have to, Diane, if you're going to have to wait 12 months, you can always just come on down and have a 180-day visa. And then when that ends, then just leave for a day and come right back. So you can be down here for a year. You just have 2 temporary visas, And then when it's time for your visa to actuate, you're good to go. Then let it happen. Don't wait. Come on down. Get a 180-day temporary visa. Leave the United States. You can leave for an hour and come back and get a new one. That's how easy it is. I think I lived here for like 5 years on 180-day visas. 2 times they expired, but it's not hard. Come down, do your 180 days, leave, come back, 180 again. And then when it's time for your thingy to click in, you're good to go. That's my advice. Don't wait. Hawkins, happy Saturday to you, Ama Ram. Hola Expats, Veracruz in the casa. Hola Ama. And I have not visited Veracruz yet, but once I hit Morelia, I'll be closer to Veracruz, because once I hit Morelia, I'll be right in the middle of Mexico. And I can't wait to get to Veracruz. That's a whole brand new part of Mexico. And Mexico, I'm telling you guys, Mexico is so fabulous. And if you want to know how fabulous Mexico is, you just got to talk to Rudy Clemonians. I can't even say it. I just call him Clemens. It's a French name. But him and his wife, Sheila, they live about a mile and a half away from me. They are so happy. And Rudy, Jacqueline from South Africa, who lives in Guadalajara now, she asked me for your phone number and email. So she's going to be calling you. And Sheila gave me your new phone number. So I gave her that. And I told her it was best maybe to call you guys because you check the phone more often than your email. So expect a contact email or call from her. And we got David Christensen in the house. Yo, Bill. This is Dave coming to you not live from Boise, Idaho. I've never been to Boise, Idaho. Matt is in the house. Hola, everyone. Happy to be here. Matt, always happy to see you. And even Crazy Boy Radio is joining us this morning. David. Hey, Bill, I hear that the lake in Patsuaro dried up. I don't know, man. Lakes, it happens. It happens, man. I don't know. Lake Chapala, when I lived in Chapala, we would walk by the lake every morning. And I had a friend whose mother was living in Guadalajara, lived there for like 80 years. And she said like 50 years ago, she said like 60 years ago, Lake Chapala just dried all the way up. And there's an island that you can see from Ajijic, from Chapala, from Jocotepec. You can see this island out there. And the mom said that when the lake dried up, they would drive over the dried up lake to the island. Now, at the time I was having this conversation, Lake Chapala was flooding, and it was like over the edges and stuff. So lakes go up and down. I have no idea what dried up, but I don't think it's climate change. It's just change. I think everybody will be okay. Diane, thanks for your enthusiastic reply. You are very welcome. And Jacqueline, I hope you contact Rudy and Sheila and hook up with them. Axel Foley. So, Bill, the address update also applies to those who are returning to the U.S. after renewing their temporary resident card. Now, Axel, that's a real curve on that question, because you're going to go what? Wait, let me read that. The address also applies to who are returning to you after renewing. Um, ah, that's a good question. I'm gonna have to research that. But uh, I don't even know how you would do that because you have to do it in immigration. Oh, but you could go to the Mexican consulate where you live. Yeah. So, okay. Oh, yeah. Go to your contact your consulate where you live and ask them. Go down there and ask them. I would think if you're going back to the United States, I I I think the move only matters if it's happening within Mexico. That's what I think. And Rudy's saying, yeah, she did contact me. Hope that went well. Liston Henry Bill. Great show today. Yeah, I try to get by with what I got. Oh man. Oh, yeah, Saturdays are always a trip because I never know what's going to happen, who's going to show up, what questions will I be asked, or who's going to help me pay my rent, like Jacqueline. Jacqueline, so much as always for supporting the channel. And this is how we buy our tacos and cerveza and pay the electricity and the internet. Thank you so much. Okay, now, Diane, if on a visitor visa, could I rent long term in Mexico? The answer to that is most definitely. I was down here on a visitor visa. Once you get your visitor visa, nobody ever cares about anything. I mean, Mexico doesn't care about you. The United States doesn't care about you. Nobody cares about you. Your landlord does not care about what kind of visa you have. They don't care how much. They just don't care. They don't care about anything. So the first place I rented when I got down here, I signed an agreement to stay there for 1 year. The owners were in California. I was in Puerto Vallarta. The next place I stayed there for 3 years. And after the first year, I didn't even sign an agreement. Let me think about that. So I was there for 3 years. Also, I was renting from an American. I stayed there 3 years with no contract. The next place I stayed in was for 5 years, also renting from another American. And I mean, yeah, you can rent long term. I have a permanent visa now, but yeah, you can come down. You can rent for a couple of months, 6 months, 1 year, year and a half, 2 years, whatever you want to do. Just come on down. It will not be a problem. Come on down. The buck stops here. I just smashed the like button. Now I'm about to pour my second cup of hot tea. Good for you. Good for you. And just to join and share the joy, here is my second cup of coffee right here. Let me take a slurp. Let me wash it down with my third plastic cup of water. Nothing like nice, clean, bottled water and some coffee to get your adrenaline going. And Matt, thank you so much. Oh, yeah, right on. Yeah, Matt, you tell the people. I didn't tell Matt to say that, but yeah, click the like button and donate to contribute to the channel. Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much, Matt and Jacqueline, to contributing to the channel. And there's Diane. Yeah, you can come down here, Diane. Get that 180 visa, get another 180 visa till your stuff is good to go. And come down and rent. Nobody cares. Mexico don't care. They're not searching you down. Tell you what, I'm gonna say something that I've never said before, but I worked. I was teaching advanced computer graphics in smack dab downtown San Francisco for 5 years. And the teachers, I mean, we were on Montgomery Street. The family that owned the school owned this like 17-story building. It was a block away from Chinatown. I mean, this family had big, giant money. And I worked with a guy there. He was brilliant, and he taught the really advanced computer codes. The guy was brilliant. And I thought a lot of him. He was always happy, always brilliant. He was gay. So he got involved with like a 16-year-old boy or something in Oakland. And he went to prison for it. And I found this out after the fact. I was talking to a teacher that worked at the school, and they said, "Oh yeah, he's in prison for hooking up with like some 16-year-old male." And they put him in prison. So anyway, he got out of prison. And so that was on his record. And I forget how that worked. But wherever he moved, all of his neighbors, the powers that be would notify all of his neighbors that, I forget, you're a child molester. All of his neighbors get warnings. Oh, you have a child molester living in your neighborhood. I mean, it was a federal offense that he was charged with. Well, anyway, so he wanted to visit me in Mexico. I said, "Oh, well, okay, fine. Yeah, sure. Come on down." Then, but then we were doing research, and there are certain countries you can't come to with that offense at all. And Mexico is very touchy about anybody that messes with children. And I was reading case law about it on the internet, and it looked a little shaky as to if he were going to be able to get in to the country. Now, I'm straight, okay, and I have many gay friends. I'm not gay, but but I'm cool. He's a cool guy. So anyway, so he booked, at the time I was living in Puerto Vallarta, he booked a flight to Puerto Vallarta. And when he left the United States, he emailed me. He said, "Well, Bill, yeah, I'm coming down. I'm on the way." And his plane landed in Puerto Vallarta. And as soon as the plane landed and the door opened, the Mexican federales got on the plane, took him away. They put him on a bus and sent him back to the United States. So I'm just saying, if you're a persecuted, if you've been prosecuted with child molestation in the United States and it's on your federal record, then that's one thing that Mexicans don't play with child molesters. If you've been convicted of doing the child molestation thing, and it's a federal thing on your record, they'll come get you on the airport and send you back to wherever you came from. Jacqueline, very much. That's just off topic, but thank you very much. Yes, click the like button. We got 56 people in the house, and we have 23 likes. Diane in Chapala area. Have you seen those using electric trikes going about town? Thinking of getting one. Yes, and Matt Brazelton, he lives there. Oh yeah, when I lived in Chapala, my neighbors had electric two-wheel vehicles. They were, bikes, very durable. The thing about the Chapala Ahiheek area, and I've seen many people use those things. The thing about Chapala and Ahiheek is all of the cobblestones. I had a 10-speed bike when I was a teenager living in Columbus, Ohio, which is totally flat. When I was like 16, before I got a car, when I was 15, 16 in the summertime, I would ride like 100 miles a day. Just, that was fun for me to ride this side of town. But it was mostly flat and on big, smooth roads. I got a bike in Chapala, brand new, but I never rode it because there were so many cobblestones. You might be on flat road for a while, then you get to like a 10-block cobblestone, and it's no fun. It's because you're like that. It's like, no, it's no fun. I can't imagine it being much fun on an electric bike either, but it's a way to get around. If you can handle it, fine. Ms. Sam, hola familia, otra bonita dia in Morelia, Mexico. And she's saying, hello family, another pretty day in Morelia. It's getting a little warm down here. It's warming up. I mean, the humidity is seeping in down here. I've taken a couple of taxis. Took about 4 taxis this week, actually, Didi. And the first thing when I got into each Didi car, the drivers were talking about, oh, it's getting warm again. It's getting warm again. Yes, it is. And last night, you can feel the humidity coming. It's not unbearable yet, which I'll be curious to see what Ms. Sam thinks about this summer. Because one of the big reasons that I'm moving to Morelia is it might go up to 90, 95 in the daytime, but there's no humidity. And in a traditional Mexico house construction, is still going to be cool in the house. So anyway, it's getting a little humid here this morning when I got out of bed. It was about 62 degrees. It'll get up to about 85 down here. It's getting humid, and I'll be happy to get the hell out of here because that humidity just eats me up. Woo! Char, I told 2 ladies I am preparing to move to Mexico. They immediately said it's dangerous. There are cartels and so much violence. I ask, is that different from being in the United States? And Char, I'm putting up a video tomorrow morning. Yeah, I can't wait to put up this video. But it's all about the dangers and all of the cartels and all that in Mexico. But it's filled with very interesting, true statistical facts of the reality of the violence that exists in the United States. And I'm putting that video up first thing tomorrow morning. It's all scripted out. I got the thumbnail together. But and for you regulars here that show up all the time, and for you guys and anybody you've seen me do an interview with, anybody that has told anyone that they're moving to Mexico, that's the first thing people say. Oh, it's so violent down there. You're going to get killed. You're going to get stabbed to death. You're going to get kidnapped. Oh, man, the United States, and I'm putting up these statistics, real statistics tomorrow about the dangers of living in the United States. A lot of people don't want to hear about it. But the fact of the matter is, they talk about kidnappings in Mexico. One of the facts I'll put up tomorrow is, yes, 60 people a day go missing in Mexico. And if you do the math, that comes out to about 23,000 people a year. 23,000 people a year come up missing in Mexico. Oh, but in the United States, it's not 60 people that come up missing a day. It's 1,500 people come up missing a day in the United States of America. That's a real statistic put out by the British Broadcasting Company. So 1,500 people a day come up missing. That's 600,000 people a year compared to 23,000. I can't even do the math on how many more there is. So, oh yeah, you can get kidnapped, you can get shot. I don't have my statistics handy. I think there were in 2023, there were more than 600 mass shootings. More than 600. And a mass shooting is where you have 4 or more people killed. And the big one was in 2017 in Las Vegas. 50 people were killed. 2017, 50 people were killed. 500 people were injured in Las Vegas. Okay. People in the United States, there are more guns in the United States than people. That's just funny. More guns than people in the United States. What? Oh, and also Americans purchase. I'm putting this up tomorrow morning. It'll be a short video, but it's just going to go over these facts. Americans purchase about $150 billion a year of heroin, cocaine, marijuana, and fentanyl. $150 billion a year. So you got all these people that are high on drugs with guns, getting angry at each other, killing each other, and kidnapping people, doing mass murders. They got their go down to 7-Eleven, get a brand new AK-47. Oh yeah. Mexico's a scary place. But I'm putting that video up first thing in the morning, and those are just the highlight statistics right there. I'm just saying. People are so. What I didn't say also is the illiteracy rate. People that are what they call literal incompetent. It's like they can't read or write. And okay, you may think I'm lying. But all you have to do is go to Google and just do a search for how many people in the United States are illiterate. That means they can't read and they can't write. Okay. If you asked me off the top of my head, I would think, well, maybe a million people, maybe 500,000 people. You got all those schools, even the bad schools in the United States. When I was in high school, I'm going to say this, it's not going to sound good the way I'm going to say it. But when I was in high school, even the dumb kids knew how to read and write. Those were the dumb kids. But now there are more than 32 million people in the United States that are functionally illiterate. So you got 32 million people in the United States. I don't know what percentage of them own guns, doing $150 billion worth of drugs. Who knows? Probably they do another $150 billion worth of drinking alcohol, functionally illiterate, watching Fox News, that's where they get their information because they can't read and write. So, oh yeah, Mexico's dangerous. Stay away from Mexico. Tell you what, man, Mexico is awesome. It is just a awesome place to be. It is fabulous. Okay. They haven't been to Mexico. If I believe that, I would go somewhere else. I can't wait to get down there. And I tell you what, I've been here for like 20 years. I met somebody last week, a Canadian, a female Canadian. I think she's about 50. I think she's very wealthy because she took me and my friend to this breakfast place. I got in her car, a brand new car. I didn't even know what kind of car it was. It was an American car, all souped up. It was like on the edge of being like Corvette or something, or a Mercedes 500. But it was an American-made car. Inside, it looked like a spaceship. She said she was going to sell it and get a brand new, some other kind of car. I had no clue. But okay, so she went back to Canada and she came back, and what'd she say? Oh, she said that she had just gotten back from Vietnam and Cambodia and some other places. She went there for like 2 or 3 weeks. So I meet some very wealthy, well-traveled people. But I remember when I was younger, I used to for a while I was in this business when I was flying all over the country. That was every day I was on a plane going somewhere, have a business meeting, go back to Cincinnati, next day get on a plane. But that was before 9/11. And after 9/11, flying was no more fun. Before 9/11, no checkpoints. They didn't have those machines you got to walk through to see if you got a gun or a knife or none of that. You could get to the airport. Some of you guys have to remember this. You could get to the airport like 5 minutes before the plane left. Just go in, get your ticket, go get on the airplane and just go. When you got to an airport, you could get off and you had to wait for you could leave the airport, walk around a little bit, come back to. Now if you fly into Dallas and you want to leave the airport to go do something for a half an hour, an hour, well, you got to go through security for 10 hours before you can get back on the plane. I mean, travel used to be fun. I don't want to travel. I don't want to leave Mexico. I just love Mexico. There's so many fantastic, beautiful places I go to. I remember I was in Europe. I was in 3 countries in Europe and Izmir, Turkey. And I rented a car. I was driving down the Autobahn a lot. And the beauty of Europe was, you're driving around through England or Germany, and all of a sudden there's like a big castle up on a hill, and almost all of them are museums. What's that out in the middle of nowhere? A big castle. You go look all through the castle and everything, and that's the way Mexico is. That's why I can't wait to get to Morelia, because it's in the middle of Mexico, so I can go to more places. Like on the East Coast, they have even more pyramids and artifacts going back like 13,000 years. And the people everywhere I go in Mexico, the people are fabulous. And I can't wait to get to Morelia. I'm thinking maybe Morelia might be my last stop of places, because I'm getting older. So I kind of, when I was in Puerto Vallarta, my last 5 years, my landlord, who was a gay American and his partner, Mike and Charlie. They owned the building that I lived in. They were very wealthy guys. And we knew, and we were the only gringos on the block. But we knew every family on that block. We knew all of the kids on the block. They all knew us by name. And Mike, who was a wealthy man, he's still alive. He would buy all the kids Christmas gifts. Our next door neighbor, she was a Mexican girl. She was about like 11 years old, real cutie pie. And she was good in school. So Mike bought her a laptop one year. The people were always bringing food to us, fresh tamales, fresh dinners. Who was I talking to? Where did this come from? Somebody. Oh God, this is a conversation I just had. Somebody was renting from a Mexican guy. This happened in the last 2 weeks. This person was renting from a Mexican guy that lived in Cancun. He owns a property in Mazatlan, but he lives in Cancun, but his family is living in Mazatlan. So this person that is renting the place, well, this guy's family brings him full cooked Mexican dinners just for the heck of it, just because he's staying at their family's place. I mean, Mexico is fabulous. It's friendly. Another benefit is it's very affordable. And we're going to talk about the peso. Let's talk about the peso for just a little bit. The peso, the value of the peso went down quite a bit. It didn't go down a lot, like a lot. But I'm going to say at the beginning of this month, I think I paid like $825 for rent, but where the peso is now, I'm going to pay like $30 less. I'm hoping this drop in the peso continues, and I hope the value of the dollar increases. But when I first got here, the value of the peso, when I got here, the peso, 10 pesos was $1. Then about 12 years ago, it was like $1 was like 20 pesos. So whatever you were spending, the value was like half of what you were spending before. Okay, that was a real benefit. Okay, fine. But when I first got here, I just earned money. I was working online, and I just decided I'll just earn money. And even if the value of the peso goes up, it's still a very affordable place to live, very friendly, very safe. And who told me? I did an interview a couple of weeks ago with Savvy, and I did a video about her bed and breakfast that is located near Chapala. And I think she's been down here a year or two maybe, and she just said, well, I don't go out at night. I don't stay out. I don't go get drunk, stay out till 6 o'clock in the morning by myself. As long as you just do regular stuff, stay off the street. I used to do it when I got to Puerto Vallarta. When I first got to Puerto Vallarta, I was a party animal. I work all day. Sure did. I worked hard, but I made excellent cash online. Go down to the main drag in Olas Altos in Puerto Vallarta. Go to the Gringo Bar. Always a big party going on in there. Stay out till 6 o'clock in the morning. Walk home. I'd walk home about 15 blocks. No problems. But I'm 6 foot tall. Big. I'm a big black guy. Most people aren't going to mess with me. So I don't do that anymore. I don't even go out. I don't go out at night ever. I'm always here in the crib thinking about what kind of videos can I make for people on Saturdays that show up. So Mexico is excellent, excellent, excellent place. Now, here we go. Here we go. Dave. Poor pedophile. Yeah, man. Yeah, if you are a convicted pedophile, I would just scratch Mexico off your list as a place to visit or to move to. Yeah, whatever. Yeah. Okay, Diane. Can the electric trike be ridden on the sidewalk? You are so funny. Love it. Yeah, you can. You can surely. Well, okay. I'm going to say. I'm going to say, can you do it? Yes, you can for sure do it. And in Chapala, you can do it for sure because Chapala, the main stretch of Chapala, which I'm going to say it's like 2 miles, kind of. The sidewalks are very wide. How wide? It's like, I'm saying you could have like 10 people all walking side by side on the sidewalks on the main stretch of Chapala. So if you're on an electric bike going down the sidewalk, you can go around people. I've ridden my bike up and down that stretch many a time. I'm off the main road. And then, you see people in front of you. You just go to the other side of the sidewalk. It's almost like driving on a road. But in many places in Ajijic and Chapala, the sidewalks are so skinny that you can barely ride a bicycle on it. I mean, Chapala and Ajijic, specifically Ajijic, everywhere in Ajijic is cobblestone. And I'm going to say all of the sidewalks in Ajijic, it's hard for one person to walk on a sidewalk. Excuse me. If you're walking down a sidewalk in Ajijic and another person is walking towards you, pretty much you have to get off the sidewalk. So, and most of the side streets in Ajijic, I can't even imagine riding a bicycle on because the sidewalks are so skinny. It's like going back in time, 80, 90 years. No, going back in time like 10 million years where only people were just like on horse and buggies. And so anyway, that's what I think about that. Let's continue on. Memories, Jamie. What province you driving from? Yeah. And Kazmir, which is my favorite Led Zeppelin song, contributing $2.99 to the channel. And that is my favorite Led Zeppelin song. Did Led Zeppelin meet you and then they wrote the song? But thank you so much for contributing to the channel. Thank you so much. Axel Foley, what was your experience like renting from foreigners versus Mexicans? It wasn't a big deal. I mean, let me think about this. I've been here almost 20 months. I've been in this place like 22 months. This is the first. Let me think about this. Let me think about it. This is the first Mexican person that I have ever rented from. This lady is very wealthy. She lives in Durango, which is a fabulous place to check out. But she lives in Durango. And if I call her right now, or if I leave her a message on WhatsApp and tell her that I got to talk to her, she's going to call me back in 5 minutes. And if I need something fixed, she's going to have it taken care of in like 12 hours. This lady is on the ball. She's fabulous. This is the first Mexican lady And she's like family. Her daughter just got married last weekend. I wasn't there. It's in Durango. That's like 3.5 hours away. The Americans, the first people that I moved in to live with, the family that I rented from, they were in California, and they had a Mexican guy and this American lady who were very shaky, very shaky. The Mexican guy was very super shaky. I think he was some form of criminal. And the white American lady, she was real shaky too. That was my first experience. Let me think. My second rental experience for 3 years was from a very wealthy guy who owns one of the top 5 gay resorts in the world in Puerto Vallarta. He used to work for Microsoft, and he made a bunch of money years ago with Microsoft. Then he retired early, moved to Mexico, and built. So I used to do his website. I made so much money off him, but he was totally cool. He was like my family. I had keys to his big hotel, go and get coffee. I mean, we were like family. So all of my experiences have been good. All of my experience, Axel Foley, have been very good renting from, except for the first experience was kind of a ripoff. Let me say that. Mary Jane. Thank you, Mary Jane. And for all of you that have clicked that like button and have contributed to the channel, that's how this whole thing works, I really like doing this. And, I'm 67, but, and I'm pretty healthy. I exercise pretty regularly. I'm pretty light on what I eat. I don't really eat bad stuff, but I just love doing it. So, I'm just happy to have something that I love to do. I have a client. Let's see. I have a client, and I've been teaching him web design. Very wealthy guy, lives in Orlando, Florida. He's a dermatologist, and he takes care of people. I did a session with him last Sunday at 6 a.m. We get together like once a month, 6 a.m. in the morning. On Sundays. But I asked, he's about a year younger than me. And I said, his name is Doc Lucky. I said, Doc Lucky, you ever going to retire? He said, no, I'm never going to retire. He said, because he works with people and he's their doctor. So he takes care of these people that retire. And he said, well, what's the first thing they do? Well, they get a brand new recliner. Then they put the recliner in front of a TV and they watch TV for about 2 years. And then they have a heart attack and they die. Okay. So I'm just very thankful to have something that I love to do. But thank you guys for contributing to the channel and watching the videos. And I hope that these videos get more and more informative, and I hope to improve my quality greatly by the time I get to Morelia. I think Morelia is going to bring a brand new experience to the channel. Okay, now Timmy, 30 times. Oh, yeah. 30 times more missing people in the USA. Thank Mexico. There you go. Wow. Wow. I didn't know that many people got missing in the USA. I had no clue. I don't even know why I looked it up. And don't trust me. Don't trust me. Go to Google and just do a search. How many people end up going missing in the United States in a year? Just do the search, and you'll get all kinds of results. But if I'm not mistaken, and I'll put this video up tomorrow. This comes from like the United States government or something. Oh yeah, here you go, and you'll find all kinds of statistics. It's all there. Don't believe me. That's crazy. I could never imagine that. I mean, the population of Wyoming is like 750,000 people. That's funny, isn't it? I never thought about that. The population of Wyoming is 750,000 people, and they get 2 United States senators, and California with like what they have like 100 million people. They only get 2. They only get 2 United States senators. Whatever. I'll just keep on rolling here. Diane, I've heard the interest rate is good in having money in Mexican bank, which is appealing to have such an account with some of my money. Do you? Well, okay. To be quite honest, the interest rates are wonderful in Mexico. Now, I'm going to be real shaky on this, and I can't. Now the murder rates, the missing people rates, I can verify that because I just looked that up last week. I wrote it all down, all that kind of stuff, rewritten it, all that kind of stuff. But I have a good friend who's a millionaire down here. She owns like 3 properties in Mazatlan. A lot of millionaires down here, Americans. She owns 3 properties in Mazatlan. She has money. I don't know how much money, but she has money in a Mexican bank. And she told me that like the interest rate was like 10 or 11%. And if I'm not mistaken, the interest I'm getting, I have a U.S. bank. I'm thinking on my bank account, I'm only getting like 2 or 3% interest. So that's like 3 times as much as what you get in the United States. But for me, I'm very biased, and I will never put my money in a Mexican bank. And I was dating this Mexican chick, and her mother had like $75,000 US in a Mexican bank. And this is only like 8 years ago. And the Mexican bank went out of business, and her mother just lost all that money. Gone. Adios. Oh, you just lost $75,000. Nothing you can do about it. No. And then at Mexican banks, they treat their customers like doo-doo unless you have a ton of money in the bank. You go to a Mexican bank, you have to do something very simple, and you're going to be in line for like 30 minutes. But you can come down here, have really bad credit, get Mexican credit cards. I mean, as long as you don't mind waiting, and I guess if you get to know the bankers, like any bank in the United States, you get to know the bankers, but I'll never put my money in a Mexican bank. I'm just biased. I have nothing else to say. That's just, no. Don't drink the water. Don't put your money in the bank. David. Hey, Bill, there was a shootout several blocks away from our house last Sunday. Where do you live, David? Oh, that's David in Morelia. Yeah, it happens. Yeah, it happens. And I've said this many times when I was in Chapala. I lived there for like 4 years, and I walked this walk. Didn't mean to do that. I walked this one walk pretty much every day for about 4 years. I walked this walk every day for about 4 years. Do. And one night, it was 2:00 in the morning. It was 2:00 in the morning. I'm in a gated community, and I hear bam, bam, bam. And I knew it wasn't firecrackers. And I'm not real familiar with guns. I don't own guns. But I said, wow, that sounded like gunshots. So that morning, I went up to take my walk. And this place that I'm walking through is the beginning of my walk. Oh, I'm going to say it was like a quarter of a mile from where I lived. And I'm walking down this street and all these police were there. The police wouldn't let me walk through. And they all had machine guns. And they looked at me like, well, if you walk any further, we're going to kill you, like that. So I just readjusted my route. Ended up that at 2:00 in the morning, 4 young Mexican guys were buying drugs from some Mexican guys. And the young guys said something disrespectful to the people that they were buying drugs from. So the drug dealers killed them all. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I bet to this day, I think the girlfriends of the dead guys, they put up like little monumental cement crosses with the dead guys' names on them. And for those of you like Matt that are familiar with the Chapala, yeah, there's the place is right around the corner from the grocery store Soriana. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it happens. You know, people get murdered. But again, it happened like, and like what Dave's saying is last Sunday, yeah. Oh, and this girl, the woman whose mother got ripped off for $75,000 by a bank. She lived in a really nice house in Guadalajara, had lived there for years, right across the street from a beautiful playground, a half block from a Catholic church. In Guadalajara, I would live in this neighborhood in a heartbeat. And there was an apartment right around the block from this woman's house. There was a very nice apartment complex. I mean, this was like a very upscale Guadalajara, beautiful neighborhood. I could live in this neighborhood in a heartbeat. Anyway, one night, this young woman that lived in the apartment complex got shot on the street. I mean, you know, whatever, man. Stuff happens. Whatever. I tell you something that's really freaky. Let's just call it what it is. Let's call it what it is. Let's talk about something really freaky, right? Now, my mother, she was such a perfect woman. She was beautiful. I'm going to pull up some pictures of her like next week. She's gone. She left the planet about 20 years ago, but she was the sweetest woman. She's an artist. She was a secretary for years for the vice president of the Ohio State University. That was so cool. She worked for the vice president. And at the Ohio State University, right on the main drag in Columbus, Ohio, they had this student union, and where the vice president's office was, they had all the student union, all the restaurants down there. And I was only in like 3rd grade, go to visit my mom. We'd pick mom up at work. And then we go to eat down with all the college kids. You know, there are like thousands of kids going to school there. I was so in awe of these kids, and it was so cool. We're at the college cafeteria, you know, and my mom was the sweetest thing. Anyway, when my dad got sick years later, she'd been gone like 10 years, and he got sick. I went to live with him in D.C. Come to find out, my mom and dad had a shotgun under their bed. Shocked me. I didn't even know that. I didn't even know that they owned guns, right? And to take that a step further, ends up that my mom slept with a 45 under her pillow every night. I'm thinking, really? Mom, really? My mother slept with a 45 under her pillow every night, but my mother was paranoid, man. My mother was paranoid. I'd be out driving all these places all over the United States. I'm on the freeway from California to Georgia, driving around. I wouldn't drive at night. And she was always paranoid. She'd say, well, do you lock your doors when you're driving all these places? I said, Mom, I'm driving like 75, 80 miles an hour. Who's going to get in? Whatever. So who knows what happens. Okay, interest rate, got that. Timmy. Yeah, there you go. Yep, there you go. For every last time I checked, which is like a couple of days ago, for every 100 people in the United States, there are 123 guns. It was at a funeral. I heard several shotguns. Yep, there you go. Funerals, people upset, just like the Hatfield and McCoys. You do stuff to people. People get mad. They get angry. There's, payback is a mofo. That's why the Hatfields and the McCoys are so famous. They're like Appalachian people in West Virginia. Yeah, I don't know where that came from, but one family did something to another family. So forever, they're killing each other. Whatever. Memories, MX or US. Now, Miss Sam, I fled the United States because of the militarization of the police who were given qualified immunity. The United States Police Force is a gang, and they are armed with hate, racism, and anger. Now, I've been there. And yeah, now, but in all groups, doctors, lawyers, pharmacists, I got to say, you got your good people and you got your bad people working everywhere, and it's been through that throughout time. So some in some places, in many places, there are many police that are just okay, good people, and I've encountered many of them. On the other hand, there are bad people, just like in government. There are many hardworking people passing bills to do good things. Joe Biden just made it so that if you're on insulin, it's only going to cost like $35 and you can only pay so much a year. He's trying to bring down pharmaceutical drug prices. I think I'm not going to go there today, but I think that there are many people who have wonderful hearts and that truly believe in doing good things for people. On the other hand, you got criminals. In all walks of life, all businesses, all religions. You got some religions that just believe in God and love. And then you got Jimmy Swaggart. Give me your money. I need new airplane, Cadillac. I need some more prostitutes. Okay, so I'm not going any further down there. Memories. Hey, Bill, I agree. As you get older, you don't want to travel, uproot and move all the time. Did that. Time to settle down. Yeah, memories. I'm with you. I'm ready to settle down, get to know my neighbors, get to know my Mexican neighbors really well. Make some friends and stick around till I die. I think I'm gonna try to hook up with some wealthy young, young, she's like 40, 45 Mexican doctor that just loves old black guys, and she just wants to love me and give me money and take care of me. She's gonna love me to death. She loves old American black guys. There's got to be one 45-year-old Mexican lady who's a doctor in Morelia that is like that. They got 1 million people. There's got to be, I only need one. There you go. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. And if you're listening to the broadcast, leave a message. Email me at bill.dallas.lewis10@gmail.com. There's an invitation. We can get married in July. You can start taking care of me like right then. I'm ready. Okay, Brian Maiden. Does the airport in Mexico still have the that pretty boy Brian Maiden? That is hilarious. I'm pretty sure in now here's what Brian's talking about, folks. This is the funniest thing. I've flown in and out of Puerto Vallarta many a time. And let me think about this. If you're coming in from a country that is not Mexico, Canada, United States, anywhere from outside of Mexico, then you've got your luggage and all that stuff, and you're going through customs. That's customs, yeah. And in Puerto Vallarta, they have a big red light they have a green light and a red light. And it's so funny because it's like you're in a movie, because it's what happens is so much what you would kind of expect, like in a communist country. And they talk like that. They say, okay, push the button. And then when you push the button, the light, either the green light comes on or the red light comes on. And if the green light comes on, then you just go. But if the red light, I've never had the red light come on for me. I've always gotten the green light. But if the red light comes on, then they go through all your stuff, search you. I've never seen anybody get in trouble. Yeah. Now, Brian, I haven't flown into Mexico probably in about 11 years. I've flown around within Mexico recently, but so the red light, green light, if anybody that has flown in, somebody has flown in here recently, let us know. Do they still do that? The buck stop here. You're right, Bill. The U.S. Mexican exchange rate is a few days ago went from 18 to 16. Okay. I bought some pesos around 16.9. Yeah. It's changing. I don't know what's up. Let's see. In PV, yep. And Char Williams, I want to thank you so much for contributing to the channel. Yeah. I thank you. I mean, I'm greatly for all of you that show up. I'm glad that I'm just happy that I can do this. I'm happy to answer questions but anyway, I'm just happy to have some fun. I'm glad that I know something that somebody, but anyway, thank you so much. Char, I hope Savvy has a room when I'm ready to go. I will most certainly support her and her business partner. Yeah, call her up. Email her, call her up, and talk to her. Andrea, someday inquire. Oh, Andrea. Okay, someday inquire into the history of the French in Morelia. Will do, because the French, as well as the Spanish, the French were big on invading Mexico, as well as the Spanish, and apparently the Spanish won out. So, Andrea, thank you very much. And I think Andrea is the one that always tells me how to learn how to pronounce towns in Mexico. She gives me wonderful advice on how to learn to say names like Hokotepec and Talakepaki and all that kind of stuff. Okay, Axel Foley, Bill, what is the dating scene like for foreigners, for foreign men 50 and over? To what degree are Mexican women open to dating foreign, and how common is this? Okay. Okay. I'm just going to come out with some generalities that may not be true, but they may be true. First of all, I'm going to say is Mexican women love white men. And if you have halfway blonde hair, if you got dishwater hair, and you're halfway handsome, there's a Mexican woman for you. If you're a good-looking white dude and you're an American also, there's when I lived with Charlie and Mike in Puerto Vallarta, they had a helper. He looked like a little Tarzan. He was about 23 years old. Man, he had a line of Mexican women after him. He would go to the beach with Mike. Mike went to the beach like every day at 10 o'clock, and his helper would go with him, Chris. And Mexican men were offering Chris their daughters. Oh, you got to meet my daughter. So these Mexican men would hook Chris up with their daughters. Next, he's having sex with their daughters. Okay. Okay. Now, if you have money, I don't think what color you are from anywhere in the world or your age. Yeah, Mexican women, just like American women, they love men with money. Over the age of 50, I think, just like in the United States, I don't know about Canada, Mexican men work very hard. And I think they, like the United States, they die earlier than the women do. This woman I used to date, oh God, her dad died when he was 65. He worked in a big corporation till he was 65, retired. He died the day after he retired. And his wife went on to live to be 80, maybe 83. So yeah, the thing is, you got to, and I've said this many times, you've got to be able to put yourself in a position where you can meet these women. So when I get to Morelia, I'm not really looking for a woman, because I'm not good at it. I mean, sure, I would like some companionship, but now I'm really getting into enjoying me for being me and enjoying my time to make videos and to enjoy myself and to read and to learn. And once you get into a relationship, a lot of your free time goes bye. And I'm really into Bill. So this rich woman, this rich young 45-year-old doctor woman that I'm going to meet in Morelia that loves me, gives me money, takes care of me. She's really, really good looking. She just want to have sex with me all the time. Okay. I'm only going to see her like one day a week. I don't even know if I'll marry her. I don't even know if I want to live with her. She's going to have to buy me a house, and then she can own her own house. She's going to have to buy me a car, and she can see me once a week. And we'll eat some food, have some sex. Okay. And she just pay for my house and my car. Okay. But she can only have one day a week. So you got to figure out, well, how are you going to meet these people? You got to get out. I've never met a woman. I've never met a woman of any worth in a bar ever in my entire life. I know guys that have married women that they met in a bar. I know one guy I know, only one guy I went to high school with, and she was a keeper. He met her in a bar. But you got to figure out, well, Where are you going to go to meet quality women? That's why I think, and we'll see what happens in another 6 months, but I'm going to go to colleges, go to the English department at the colleges, see if they have conversational English groups where people want to learn English, but they speak Spanish already. I'm going to go to those groups, try to meet some educated women. It's like that. So I think the dating scene is good, but you're going to have to be creative. Maybe go to church and join church groups, whatever. But they're out there. Oh yeah, the women are out there, man. Quebec, Ontario. That's where Jamie is driving from. Jade, Ola, I've decided to start the live from the beginning because your live is almost over. Just happy to see you. Leave a comment and show up. Let's see what else is happening. And thank you guys for asking questions, leaving comments, and just being here. April is almost over. Memories, long drive, stay safe. I'm close to TO. Is that Toronto? Okay, Brian Maiden. Jamie. Would that be like Hall? I don't quite understand that. Jade. Hola, everyone. Thank you, Jade. Memories, been thinking myself to drive, but going solo, not safe. You can drive by yourself. I did it by myself. I'm a guy. I'm kind of a big guy. It was no problems, and I know many women that have driven down here by themselves. Women my age, no problem. So you can drive down solo, but my advice would be to sell your car, get rid of your car, come down here and get a new car. Now here we go. Ola, Jade, and Jamie, my friend, 2 beers for Bill today. Thank you so much for Jamie. Jamie called me this week. Where was I? I think I was in OXO. Phone rings. This Jamie called me up. Thank you, Jamie. What's the name of my podcast? The name of the podcast is the Bill Dallas Lewis channel. And Jade, I don't understand it. I don't understand how to check my stats or anything yet. I don't know how it works, but I'm converting playlists to podcast. I'll know more. I'll try to answer that question like next week or something. Ola, Memories, how are you? Memories, I'm great, Jade. Thank you for asking. My channel is not searchable yet. Oh, okay. That's somebody else. Pretty boy Brian Maiden gives me $20 in that very expensive Canadian money for your travel fund. Thank you so much, Brian. Pretty boy Maiden. And Brian's been showing up for centuries. Thank you so much, Brian. Memories, I look forward to tuning in, and Memories, yeah. Let us know what your channel is so that we can subscribe and join you when you go live. Lenora, wow, to think she lost all that money. I would cry. Why don't Mexican banks have insurance to cover your money? That's a funny question. I mean, Mexicans, the Mexico guy, I'm just going to say, I don't know. I have no clue. But think of it like this. When I lived in Chapala, I lived with a person, and they bought their house brand new for like $120,000. For taxes for that house, on a yearly basis, they paid like $200. Okay, so you got a $120,000 house. Every year you pay like $200 in federal taxes. Now, my dad, when he died, it was like a $400,000 house outside of DC. And I wanted to sell the house before he died because I didn't want to pay $5,000 a year in property taxes. $5,000 is way more than $200. But look, even the bad schools in the United States are pretty good because people pay property taxes. So there's taxation isn't like taxation in the United States, and taxation in the United States helps a lot of people out. So Mexico, whatever. That's all I can say. Memories. Bill and Cluster, have a great weekend. Got stuff to do. Mini, rainy, cold day in Toronto area. Oh, now let me say this. Like I'm on the internet. I'm on YouTube. And I'm searching for stuff. And this week, you know how when you go to watch a video and they have those, like you're watching one of my videos, I hope. And then they show these commercials before you can see my video or any video you see on YouTube. 2 times this week, I got Toronto. One was a Toronto ad, and it was about, oh, we're looking for people to move and to work in Toronto. And they were saying, oh, if you live in Toronto, you're going to need like $5,500 a month to live. And it's going to cost you $2,500 a month to live in the middle of Toronto in a nice place. And they were going through all of this. And then this other commercial was about, we want you to move and to work in Canada. Oh, we want you to come to college. And if you come to Canada, we will train you. And here's the kind of money you can make. And that had never happened to me before. Are other people encountering that? That's never happened to me in my life. Let's move along. Have you heard of any getting affected by Morelia's altitude? I'm older, must confess a cigarette smoker. Oh, okay. And not in your shape. Well, I don't know. It's like Ahihic has a relatively high altitude, even Guadalajara and Chapala. But I think Ahihic is higher than Guadalajara. And a few people I know that went to Ahihic, they just had to leave just because of the high altitude. It didn't bother me. In fact, I think it's only like 0.5%. And you people that have that challenge, you kind of have to go there and figure it out, or look at the altitude and just say, oh no, I can't do that altitude. So I don't know. I don't have that challenge. So you have to check that out and go test it out. Go test it out. Now, and there's Terry Don Marshall. We got to talk, Terry Don. What's happened with your video? And look who has shown up here today, Rob's Mazatlan Vacations. Hi, Bill. When are you coming back to Mazatlan? Mr. Rob, I'm in Mazatlan right now. I haven't left yet. I leave July 4th. And that is Rob at Rob's Mazatlan Vacations. And for what it's worth, while we have Rob up here, Rob does a great tour. He's the reason I'm in Mazatlan. But a woman that I met through Rob, her name is Kathy. She's fabulous. She called me this week, and Rob did a tour recently from Ahihic to Guanajuato, and Kathy was on that tour. And the great Ahihic, now he does the tour from Ahihik to Mazatlan. That's like a 6-hour drive. That's kind of a long drive. He has a van. He has these two guys that he rents. He hires them in this really nice van. Okay, I think the bus would be more comfortable. That's a long, but Guanajuato is only like 3.5 hours, 4 hours from Ahihik. But Kathy took the tour to Guanajuato. She said it was fabulous. I love Guanajuato. So if you can hook up with Rob and take his Guanajuato trip from Ahihik, if you go to buildthegeek.org, click on FAQs, you'll see Rob's Reina Del Mar Bed and Breakfast is the first link on the page. Okay, so we have 58 people still in the house with 40 likes and people contributing to the channel. Bill being picky about his sugar mama. Oh yeah. Yes, I am. It would be one, Brian, but this is the border closer to Montreal. Okay, Rudy. Oh, yes. And Rudy would know because he's been back and forth to the United States like this month. He may be in Arizona right now. So Mazatlan still has the red and the green lights. Char, I hope that female doctor finds you. Yes. Thank you very much. Brian, very first time coming to Mexico, my son at the time was 14. He was red light. Wife and I through it was so funny. That is hilarious. Brian, I got she thinks so she speaks. I got the red light in Merida when I first bought my house. Had luggage full of household stuff. The look on their faces when they pulled out my toilet plunger. Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, the first time I drove to Mexico, the federales pulled me over 2 times, and one time they went through all my stuff in my Jeep Cherokee. They went through when they got done with all my luggage. It looked like a big salad in my car. But yeah, and when they go through when they go through your stuff, they go through everything. Dave James, thank you very much. I'm very appreciative for people showing up, clicking the like button, leaving comments, and contributing to the channel. Thank you so much. Let's see what else is going. A couple on YouTube that travels in their van. They were stopped at the board leaving Mexico and had their van taken. Now they are fighting to get it back. Yeah, man. Yeah, I don't know. Whatever. Dave, it's at 17 pesos to the dollar today. Cool beans. Oh, it's on the way up. We like that. We want to get it. We want it up to like 22. Doug, US dollar to peso, 16.59 in Merida, Yucatan. Brian, too funny. Yeah, okay, that's so funny. Yeah. They didn't like the plunger. What are you doing traveling with a plunger when you can buy one here for like 25 cents, brand new? Diane, dating scene makes me feel like this old chick wouldn't have a chance meeting some nice younger gent to date in Mexico. There's somebody for everybody. Let me think about this. There's this older woman in Ahihik. I saw her in Ahihik. She's retired. She's got to be like 80. And she has several very young Mexican boyfriends. I mean, she's doing to do with young Mexican boys who are like 20, 25. There's somebody for everybody out there. You You just have to have your green light on. And I can't help but remember this Barney Miller episode. I used to be a Barney Miller junkie. And for those of you guys that don't remember Barney Miller, he was a detective, a police detective in New York City. And it was a comedy, a 30-minute comedy. And it was funny. And, you know, they had all this weird stuff, all this crime. There was like 5 detectives, and Barney Miller, I think it was like the head detective. But they brought in this lady. She had to be like 80, and she had she had met this man, and the man took all her money, right? And so Barney Miller says, well, can you describe the man to me? And so the lady is describing, she says, oh, he was so handsome. He was tall and thin and and his hair was so beautiful, and he talked so nice. And I just believed everything he said and all of that. So finally, later in the episode, they actually find the guy, and they bring the guy in. And the guy was homely, and he didn't dress well, and he wasn't thin, and he was nothing that this woman said he was. But to her, that's the way he was. He was the catch. So, you know, you got to come down, go out and meet some people. There's someone for everyone. And I swear to God, every day I walk through Mazatlan, I see these people. I see families with kids. You know, they got like 3 kids, the husband and the wife, or I don't know what they might just be girlfriend, boyfriend, something like that. And I look at her and I look at him, and I'm looking at her thinking, no, I would never touch that. But I don't even have to say it. I just say to myself, really? That is with that? Really? I think that he just got low self-concept. That's what I say to I say, really? There's somebody for everybody. Okay. Ooh, Letitia Silva. What about for us ladies who are 50 and over? What is the dating scene? Let's put that let's put that message up there. I'm telling you, girl, there is somebody out there for everybody. Okay, and let's say this. For example, now this is a different situation, but my landlord, Mike, who was married to Charlie. Now, this is a gay situation. They were together for like 25 years. Mike was like, I think today he's 77, I think. Charlie's like 55, something like that. Okay, so Charlie left Mike, went back to live in the United States. And I'm not going to go into that any much, but so they broke up. So Mike's 77. Mike hooks up with some like 23-year-old Mexican guy, and they fall in love. And the Mexican guy, really handsome guy. He's 23. Mike's 77. The Mexican guy loves Mike and loves to take care of him, loves to cook him food, push him around in his wheelchair. He just loves him to death. I tell you what, man, there's somebody out there for everybody. Yeah, but you got to meet the people. You got to go out and meet the people. Okay, driving with my dogs, Brian Free. Hola, Brian. Hi, Bill. Brian from North Bay, Ontario here. Just got back from 3 months in Thailand. And I've heard great things about Thailand. The main thing holding me back is the heat and the humidity, and they don't speak Spanish, you know. But I watched this guy on YouTube to learn about YouTube stuff, Nick Neiman, and I don't know how long he's lived in Thailand. He lives there with his brother. He has like 800,000 YouTube subscribers, and he talks about how to get more subscribers, how to get more views on YouTube. He goes live every Saturday morning at 6 a.m. from Thailand. He loves Thailand. He's got all the new equipment broadcast all over the world. He loves Thailand. I guess I'll never know. Should be back in Mexico in the fall, likely. Likely Huatulco area. Okay, I got to check that area out. Stephen Nathan. Hola, Bill. What was that lady doctor's name again? Just curious, the lady doctors. Are you talking about my dentist or the one that I'm making up to meet in the future? Axel, Bill, what are the advantages, a good reason for having a Mexican bank account when Americans in Mexico can conduct business online with their credit card? I don't see any advantage. Let me think about it. I mean, I guess there are some, but I think I do have a Mexican bank account. One day I woke up, I said, I'm gonna get a Mexican bank account. And I think I still have like $2 in this Mexican bank account, but I'm not putting anything in. I'm never going to have. I'm never going, and then unless they make some law, well, you're a permanent resident, you have to get a bank account. Marcus, hola from Puerto Vallarta at the gym doing some cardio. Good for you. Guanajuato, Charles. Guanajuato is my second choice behind living at Lake Chapala. I will look Rob up for his tour. A friend and I have already planned to go. Cool. Rob I have not taken the tour with Rob in Guanajuato, but he does a good tour. He does his research very well, and you'll stay in a great place. Yeah, just go to buildthegeek.org, go to FAQs, and at the top of the page, you'll find all of Rob's fabulous information. Letitia, okay. Diane, got to get my green light on. That's it. Just turn on your green light. That's it. If you're ready to turn it on, turn it on. Out of the beach cities, is there some that are not as humid to be so intolerable? Oh, out of the beach cities. I've heard that in northern Mexico on the peninsula, I've heard some of those cities on the beach are not so bad. But I'm just going to say wherever there's beach in Mexico in the summertime, there's going to be humidity. I'm just going to flat out and say that. And to me, that's going to be intolerable. But if Chapala, if you had a place where, if Guanajuato, with Guanajuato's weather, was on a beach and the prices were good, I'd be in Guanajuato on the beach. That's what I think. Okay, let's see what is on my list here that I didn't get to. Hold on a second. I did want to talk about the internet access. I think Thursday I'm going to put up a video about internet access. One thing, let's see, the peso. Okay, I went to the dentist. Yesterday. One of my teeth broke in half. When did that happen? It was like last Sunday. One of my teeth broke in half by itself, like I was eating a cheeseburger or something. So called my dentist. I'm going to get an implant 1 week from Monday. Really looking forward to that. They do the extraction. They have a specialist that comes in. They do the extraction to get rid of the old tooth. Put the implant in. It takes 30 minutes, though. I guess I guess they just drill the hole and set it all up. And then 3 months later, they screw in the tooth. I don't quite understand the process, but that is what is going to happen. But anyway, all is good here in Mazatlan. I'm going to put up that video tomorrow about statistics from the U.S. on crime for people that are always asking about, oh, you can't go there, you're going to get killed, stuff like that. I think I'm going to put up a video Thursday about internet and this place I'm moving. And the reason I'm going to put this up is this place I'm moving into in Morelia. I think there are like 5 units on this place, and I'm in the top one. So I think it's on the 3rd or 4th floor. And the landlord says the internet is 100 meg, but who knows where the modem is. So I'm going to talk about the importance of wherever you live. In Mexico, if you're renting an apartment, make sure that the modem is in your apartment. Who's this showing up now? Where are you, Maria? Like number 53. Thank you. Number 43. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Where are you, Maria? Thank you so much for clicking the like button. That is greatly appreciated. Oh, here we go. I've been watching but doing my chores at the same time at my house. Well, good for you. We appreciate you letting us know that you've been listening. Brian, well, another Saturday come and gone. Bill, Brian, thanks again for showing up. Thanks for clicking the like button and for contributing your Canadian dollars to the channel for my laundry and beer fund, as well as rent and electricity. Thank you. Peace and love to you all. Thank you, Brian. And I tell you what, here in Mazatlan, it is 9:52. I'm getting ready to shut it down for this week. Sarah, and we're still, people still saying stuff. Another great show. Oh, you are the best. You guys are the best. This show really, it is, it's kind of nerve-wracking, I'm going to say, because, I got 7 pages of notes on stuff I am prepared to talk about. I didn't get to 5 pages of that. Well, I can hold it off. But, I just wonder, I just wonder how it's going to go, what I can say. I get really nervous about these things, and I think about Saturday all week. But it's always great, and thanks you guys for showing up. Helen, my first time here. God bless you, Helen. I was getting ready to go, but do you have any questions? You have any comments? You want to know anything? How I'm Bill the Geek. This is your first time here. What do you want to know? What can we do? Good show, Mamo. Have a great week. And Jacqueline, I will have videos for sure of those condos around the marina. Also, Jacqueline, you asked me, hey, how about getting a condo around the marina? If you go to FAQs, go to buildthegeek.org, FAQs, and look under realtors, and it will say Mazatlan Realtor, and there you will find I think her name is Kimberly Ann Cook. She's the only realtor on the page. I used to have 3. Contact her. She has helped a few of my subscribers find rental properties, but I did a video for her or with her about she was putting a condo on the marina up for sale. I did a video with her about that. She knows me. But if she has a condo for sale with a view of the marina, she may know people that are renting properties on the marina. Diane, thank you. Oh, great show. Thank you. You are very welcome, Diane. Go get some exercise, smoke a cigarette. You'll be good. Bill, where are you, Maria? Bill, you are never boring. Love your channel. Thank you guys so much for watching. Helen. Oh, Hola, Helen. I overslept but came in on your love connection. Yeah, baby. We got the love connection going on. And look who is here. Katrina the Maker is in the house. Thank you very much, Katrina. We'll catch you next week. Very good. I'll be here. And for those of you that are new to the channel, we do this every Saturday at 10 a.m. Central Time. Mexico does not time change anymore. So when the United States does time change, we start at 8 a.m. in Mazatlan, but we always start at 10 a.m. Central Time in the United States, always. And Helen will definitely be watching your videos. We have many more to come. Make sure that you have clicked that subscribe button. Letitia Silva. Yes, love your channel. Thank you. Thank you so much. And I didn't really talk about politics today, but hey, I'm telling you, if you're not watching MidasTouch.com and checking out what's going on with Donald Trump, woo! I mean, woo! I don't see how he can take it. Woo! Yeah. But anyway, just go to MidasTouch.com. Watch those videos. Stay informed. And if you're in the United States, we've got a big. I'm not going there, but I'm saying that it's just a very important year to vote Democrat, and it's a very big year. There you go. Okay, so here we go, folks. I'm getting ready to click the magic button, and I think I'm getting ready to say bye-bye. This is Bill the Geek. Love all of you guys. Thank you so much for sharing time with us today. Thanks for showing up, leaving comments, asking questions, sharing your ideas, supporting the channel by being here or clicking the like button, maybe adding some funds to the channel through contributions. If you're watching the replay and you want to donate to the channel, in the description below, there's a donate button. You can click there. It takes you into PayPal. And there you can use Visa, MasterCard, or American Express, and even Discovery Card. I don't understand who even uses Discovery Card, but whatever. Thank you each and everyone for showing up this morning. I'm so happy that the electricity was on, the computers were working, the cameras were working. So happy you people showed up today. Love you all. Adios, amigos. Hasta luego. Que te vaya bien. This is Bill the Geek, broadcasting live Saturday, 10 a.m. Central Time in Mazatlan, Mexico. Sorry. This is the Bill Dallas Lewis channel, and we make presentations about the joys of living in Mexico, and I will see you in May.